Just my people, as the halt, it don't happen. No, where is President Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Because since Tinubu left this country has never remained the same, and different things has been happening. Strange things has been happening. Please listen to Efio as he explain more about Tinubu's disappearance. Please make sure you are sharing and drop your thoughts in the comment section.
Something is happening. Something is happening, brothers and sisters. While President Bola Tinubu, is absent from Nigeria, something is going on. Things are going on that affect Nigeria. You won't see that on Arise TV, not on channels, not in ministerial press releases, not in sponsored newspaper columns. You will not see it. But I'm here to tell you, because behind closed doors, in quiet rooms, in Washington, D.C., and even in Abuja itself, in the absence of Tinubu, since late 2025, Christmas Day, people who rule Nigeria without consequences have to start checking their bank apps. They're about to deal with all of them now. Because this time, the threat is not to Nigeria itself. This time, the threat is personal. Very personal for corrupt Nigerian politicians. They're going after their homes, their accounts, their visas, their children in American schools. Corrupt ones, oh. This time, the weapon has a name. The weapon has a name. Global Magnitsky Act. Once more, Global Magnitsky Act. Some say it is about to be implemented. We're talking about in a week, in a month. It's about to happen. But don't ask me. I did not say anything. My mouth is shut. Wahala day. This is the Afiam Akwa Show, ladies and gentlemen. Issue 1. Let me break it down, because I've been asked a lot by my subscribers what Magnitsky Act really means. I will be clear about this. The Global Magnitsky Act, which I mentioned in my last podcast, is not rhetoric. It is not diplomacy. It is not a strongly worded statement. It is a legal hammer against those Abuja politicians. Wow, stealing the country dry. It freezes assets, it seizes property, it cancels visas, it blocks financial systems. Please listen very carefully. And you know what? It targets individuals. It does not target countries. Individual corrupt Nigerian officials and their enablers. Most clean Nigerians will not be affected. So if you are my subscriber, you're good. Meaning, you can shout sovereignty on TV, but Chase Bank will not listen. In Nigeria, accountability only works when dollars are involved. Naira cannot scare anybody. You open to TV, they're all screaming sovereignty. Open to channels. They are in trouble. You should too. Why is Nigeria in trouble now? I have mentioned this. I know I'm mentioning it again. That Nigeria was designated a CPC for religious freedom. I mentioned this in my last broadcast. I am going to basically unpack more of it today. That designation forces U.S. action. And the time is now. You do have deadlines, you know. Washington has moved on from, oh, this is Nigeria, let's manage carefully. Let's not make refugees all over West Africa. Let's bring and listen to what the biased NSA Nuhu Ribadu has to say. Endless excuses from Ribadu. U.S. has moved from that to who is responsible as an individual. Names are going to be named. Real names. That focus is going to be on who is persecuting people religiously. Blasphemy laws. Elite corruption. State failure. This is not coincidence, ladies and gentlemen. This is convergence. Issue 3. Sharia, blasphemy, and blood. I've also mentioned Sharia before, but let's be very clear here. And let's stop pretending. Let us speak in plain language. Sharia enforcement in parts of northern Nigeria is no longer seen as local culture. This is our culture. Well, you are in Nigeria. It is now viewed as a human rights exposure. You are in Nigeria, you are in the real world. The real world is seeing death sentences, mob killings, burn churches, silence minorities in those Sharia areas. And when this happened without accountability, Washington no longer sees neutrality. Washington does not want the death of those Christians. It sees complicity. That is why Sharia, blasphemy laws, and Magnitsky are now in the same conversation. They're like brothers and sisters right now. For example, just in recent days in Nigeria, 8 Sharia court judges in Kano were remanded for stealing 99 million naira for orphans. These are Sharia court judges. And we are talking about religion here. They say Sharia is sacred, but the Swiss account is holier for corrupt Nigerians. So don't put those judges. Sharia is just used by them. Issue 4, the panic behind the scenes. I am, as you know me, I'm very responsible with my words. I have opinions, but I tell you facts. I cannot confirm every meeting, but there are very strong signals, I'm talking as me, from what I've seen, of aggressive lobbying, religious pressure on Bola Tinubu, on Donald Trump, urgent attempts to slow Washington down by Nigeria. Why? They are scared. Because once names appear, names are coming, money will stop moving. And once OFAC acts, there is no Nigerian appeal court where you can go behind and bribe the judge. Who is OFAC in SA? OFAC is the Office of Foreign Assets Control. It is the U.S. Treasury's enforcement arm that doesn't issue warnings. It doesn't tell you, it just simply freezes your account. When OFAC knocks, even the loudest people suddenly develop network problems. So I'm actually doing these Nigerian people who have stolen money and come and put it in you. I'm doing them a favor now. I'm telling them, return the money. Don't be a thief. Issue 5. Where is Tinubu? I know people are tired. Every podcast, where is Tinubu? Now let me ask this question. Now it is the refrain is loud. Where is President Bola Tinubu? When did he leave Nigeria? When? Right after that bombing? Why has he been absent for weeks? He's not been in Nigeria this year. When is he returning? Or has he returned and we don't know? These questions are being raised publicly by citizens, by activists, by journalists. I'm not the only one. In fact, voices like Omoyole Sowore and outlets such as our reporters raised this question just yesterday. Let me repeat it, because repetition matters. Where is Bola Tinubu? When is he coming back? Does he have any responsibility of the country? Who is running Nigeria? That's the more important question. You see letters of condolence. Who is writing all those letters? In a democracy, silence is an alarm. It is. Issue 6, my prediction. Here's my assessment. They have started banning visas quietly, which you are not even aware of. Targeted individuals. Not Nigeria, targeted individual corrupt officials. It is going on now without your knowledge. Asset freezes are coming later, but those ones will be announced. And suddenly everybody patriotic, they love Nigeria. The last one always comes right before accountability. And issue 7, this is a message from the Ofion Akwa show itself to policymakers in Washington, D.C. Please move very fast to those people. They're going to run and hide their money. Move fast. Delay gives them time to move money. Nigerian politicians are very slick. Target individual. That's the correct thing to do. I praise that. Protect ordinary Nigerians. Make religious persecution and corruption expensive. Make it expensive for Tinubu and his friends. Let me hear your thoughts in the comments section, ladies and gentlemen. But let me make one thing clear here. Nigeria as a country is not being punished. It is individuals. Yes, the Nigerian system is being exposed. I agree. But without exposure, you cannot have reform. This is the Ofion Akwa Show. I have not ceased being the voice of the voiceless. I'm still your independent voice. And I will continue telling fearless truths. Be good to yourselves, be good to each other.